Last time you were here, we started working on our actual texture on our aluminum foil. Actual texture is texture that I can really actually feel with my fingers. Today we're going to be working on some implied texture. So I'm going to get my foil and I'm going to get my texture worksheet, which I glued to a piece of black paper. Now this black paper is going to become the background for my actual texture. So I need to glue my foil to the black paper. And to do this, I'm just going to put a glue line around the edge. And then to make sure that this foil sticks, I'm also going to put an X through the center. So still not too much glue, but maybe a little bit more than usual. Now I'm going to flip this over and try really hard to get it exactly in the middle and make sure that it's not crooked. Just doing my best. Now the next thing that I have to do is I have to extend these glue lines that I originally made onto my black paper. So to do that, I'm going to need a ruler. And I'm going to need to be really, really careful because I don't want this hard ruler to rip my delicate aluminum foil. So I'm just going to line up my ruler with each glue line, and then when it's lined up, I'm going to extend it onto the black paper. So now it just looks like a continuous, longer line. I also had a line here. And let's see where else. I had a horizontal line here. And some diagonal lines up here. See, that line only went off on one side. And same with this one. Now once all of your lines are extended, you're going to first of all finish up any actual textures that you had left over. So if I need to use my pencil to very carefully draw some more textures, I can do that. And remember, each section needs to have a different texture. So if I did a jaggedy, pointy texture in this one, maybe here I'll do a bumpy texture by creating some circles. Now the cool thing is, these actual textures are also going to be extended onto the black paper. Now I cannot carve onto the black paper with my pencil like I can on the foil. So on the black paper, we're going to be using some metallic markers to extend these textures. So the great thing about these markers is they show up really great on this black paper. Like when I trace over my lines, you can see how shiny and bright they are. So the first step is to trace over all the pencil lines that we extended. If you want to use a ruler to help you, you can, but I'm just going to very carefully try to make them straight. Make sure that the marker that you choose is nice and bright. If your marker is kind of dried up or someone's pressed it too hard so it doesn't have a good point, choose a different one. And I'm being really gentle not to smash down the point of this marker, because these metallic markers are kind of, you gotta kind of be gentle with them. Okay, it's a good thing that I was gentle because since I still have this good point, I can extend these textures by drawing them very carefully on the black paper. So if this texture was some bumpy circles, then when I do the implied texture, I'm just going to keep on doing that same texture pattern. So now I have actual texture that I can feel and implied texture. Even though it doesn't feel like anything, it still looks like it's bumpy. My jagged texture here, I'm just going to keep on extending like it's just running off the foil and onto the black paper. So these jaggedy lines are just going right off, just staying exactly the same. When you're all finished, each section should have an actual texture that you can feel and an implied texture that matches it, so that each pattern just extends off onto the black paper and all sections should be filled.